In this lesson, we are going to talk about percentages. What are percentages? Well, you may ask, what am I going to do with percentages in real life? Does it matter? Well, it does matter when you come across a big sale like this, or when you see a label full of nutrition facts like this, or even after shopping with a receipt, you want to know the percentage of tax you paid. When we talk about percentage, it is also known for short as percent. And in fact, percent is a special fraction. What? Yes, percent is a special fraction which has 100 as the base all the time. Let's take a look at the word percent. Percent has per and cent. Per means for each or for every. You may hear people say 1 candy per person, which means 1 candy for each. And cent means 100. That's why we have 100 cents equals to $1. So percent means per hundred, and in fraction form, it looks like this. Per over 100. Now we know percent is a special fraction which has 100 as the base all the time. So we can replace 100 with a percent symbol. But how are we going to read it when we see it? Here are some examples. 1%, 5%, and 10%. Now we know how to read percent, but how do percent form and fraction form look different? Here is an example. 5% in percent form, and in fraction form it would be 5 over 100. Another example will be 15% in percent form, and in fraction form it will be 15 over 100. Right, you may ask, is there a 0%? Yes, 0% in fraction will be 0 over 100. We have talked about it in the last lesson. This is called zero fraction, and the value will be 0. And then remember, only the top number can be 0. The bottom number cannot be 0. How about 100%? 100% in fraction will be 100 over 100, which is a whole, or 1. We call it whole fraction. And how about 120%? Does it make sense? Yes, 120%. You may hear people say, I'm going to put 120% effort in this exam. So it does make sense. In fraction, it looks like this, 120 over 100, which has a bigger top number. And in fraction, the value will be more than 1. As we talk about, this kind of fraction is called improper fraction. After talking about the connection between fractions and percent, we are going to talk about decimals and fractions. We have learned decimals and fractions, and also we know they can transform to each other. Here is an example. But not all the fractions are easy to be transformed to decimals. For example, 3 over 4, we need to divide 3 by 4 to get our decimal, which looks a bit tricky. But when we meet base 10 fractions like the right hand side, things will be much easier. And as we talk about, percent is a special fraction which has 100 as the base all the time. So we know percent also can be changed to decimal form. And here's an example. 25% will be 25 over 100 in fraction form, and in decimal form it will be 0.25. I'm going to show you an easier way to transfer percent to decimal here. We have a percent form which is 15% here, and as you can see there isn't a decimal point. It is not shown in this number, but if we could see, it would be right next to the one place, because 15 and 15.0, they are the same, so we can put the decimal point there. Then we just move the decimal point to number places to the left away from the percent symbol, and we put a 0 there as a placeholder. Now we get our decimal form. Let's do more practices here. 13%, as you can see, the decimal point, and we move to number places and the placeholder and take away the percent symbol. 24%, the decimal point, 2 number places to the left, 0 as a placeholder and take away the symbol. 45%, decimal point, 2 number places to the left, 0, and take away the symbol. Always remember to put 0 right next to the decimal point as a placeholder after you move it. Now you may have the question, what if I have only one digit in the percent? Like this, 5%. what am I going to do to change it to a decimal? Well, the method is the same. Find the decimal point and we move the decimal point 2 number places to the left, and then we fill in the gap with our placeholders and take away the percent symbol. Now we have a 0.05. That's what we got. And more examples here. 6% decimal point, 2 number places to the left, fill in the gap with placeholders and take away the percent symbol. 9% decimal point, 2 number places to the left, fill in the gap with placeholders and take away the symbol. As you can see, all these zeros are the placeholders which fill in the gap where the numbers are missing. Now we already learned percent can be transformed to either fraction form or to decimal form. An example is shown here. 16% in fraction form, it will be 16 over 100. And in decimal form, it will be 0.16. We can also do the other way around. If we know a fraction which has 100 as the base, we can easily change it to a percentage. As you can see here, 22 over 100 to percentage will be 22%, and 40 over 100 will be 40%. Or when we have a decimal and we want to change it to percentage, 0.06 in percentage will be 6%, and 0.80 in percentage will be 80%. Now we have learned different methods to present percentage, and you should be able to know some key knowledge of a percentage. We are going to learn more about how to use it in the next lesson.